What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. My name is Jalik, and I gotta admit, it feels good to be back here with you guys. What doesn't feel so good, however, is the return of allergy season. I wasn't expecting that punch in the face yesterday morning when I tried to record this first, but that's alright. We're back today, giving it another shot. See how it goes in 3, 2, So today we're taking a detailed look and review at Russell Westbrook's 5th signature sneaker with Jordan brand. This is the Jordan Why Not 0.5 or Why Not 5, just don't call it 0.5 or 0.5. I can only assume that they took the 0 out because the shoe was in development while Russ was out in DC wearing number 4 for the Washington Wizards. Even though Russ is back to 0 with the Los Angeles Lakers, I can imagine they thought it was just best to leave any uniform numbers out of the naming of the shoe. The way signature athletes are bouncing around the league these days, I mean, can you blame them? That's another subject for another day. Again, today's video is about the Why Not 5, and we actually have not one but 2 colorways of it. So we have this standard colorway here. This is retailing for $130 here in the US, but in the US we actually got a collab as the launch colorway. So this is the Honor the Gift colorway. It's a collaboration between Jordan brand and Russell Westbrook's brand, Honor the Gift. He does have a clothing collection which this shoe pretty much fits into, and the whole concept behind that line is embracing the inner city youth, recognizing them. These are retailing for $150, so it is $20 more than the standard colorways, which I'm actually going to switch back to now. We'll revisit the other pair just to talk about some differences between the two, but for now I'm going to go ahead and move forward with this one. This is the pair that I'm actually testing out now. I actually already started testing on these. I'm going to try not to give any spoilers. We'll save that for a performance review. There will be a performance review coming for these. Now, just to give a quick look at the box, just know what you're getting with the standard colorways. You have this white and gold box here. Not too much to tell on it. Hopefully that glare isn't too crazy for you guys, but just a white box, gold branding, Russell Westbrook branding. You do have a signature on that side, not really anything else. Jumpman logo on that side, and then of course the shoe tag and another Jumpman logo. But going back to the actual shoe, we'll go ahead and start off with the traction on it. This is what Jordan brand is calling a data-driven traction pattern. Basically, it just consists of various nubs throughout. Some are fat circles, some are semicircles, some are just kind of like little hash marks, followed by whatever data Nike and Jordan brand pulled to make the outsole. Now, as you can see, the outsole is decoupled. That's pretty much a staple in Westbrook's line from everything from the Why Not 02 all the way up until now, and also with the one take, all 3 of the one take models. You do have a multicolor outsole, which I think most pairs are going to include. Some maybe not, I'm not sure. Everything so far does. Basically just like a little heat map area up at the toe there, which makes sense since Russ does play heavily on his toes, on his forefoot. Speaking of forefoot heavy, we'll go ahead and go into the cushion and the midsole of the shoe. Basically, you have a full-length EVA, or what Nike and Jordan brand call a Phylon, and housed in the forefoot of that EVA is a Zoom Air unit. This is also a staple in Westbrook's line, pretty much from the Why Not 2 and all of the one take models. So the one take models and last year's Why Not 4 use kind of one of those standard forefoot oval shape units. For the mainline signature, other than the Why Not 01, which use full length zoom, all of the other ones excluding the 4 use a Zoom Air unit that was shaped kind of like this here. The other units were kind of articulated. I'm not sure what the case is in here. From what I can feel, what I can tell, it's probably just a basic unit like this, maybe a little bit more thicker, but you still get good court feel in it. You get a nice bounce back sensation in the forefoot, and honestly even the EVA in the back, there's a little bit of bounce back there too. It kind of surprised me when I tested them out last night, but of course it's nothing compared to what you would get with a Zoom Air unit. Now the cushion, along with some other choices that they put onto the shoe, is where things get kind of iffy among the entire Why Not series and the one take series. For someone like me that's going to trying all of the one takes out and then going into the Why Not 5, there are a lot of similarities there. However, there's enough differences for me to be able to kind of tell and be more excited about. But for anyone that's tried all of Westbrook's line, there's just a lot of the same. Similar design elements. They switch things up slightly here, but for the most part, it still kind of carries over the same chaotic design language, for lack of better words. I don't mean that in a negative way, but just the aesthetics, the tech, and how they use the tech, it's just all been a lot of the same. So I Can understand why some people aren't so excited about that. Now for material choices, you do have some interesting things going on here with the Why Not 5. It is supposed to resemble a trail shoe, so that's going to explain why you have things like the asymmetrical lacing, the fat nylon cables throughout, and kind of the semi-buckle system. This colorway uses a thin plastic heel counter. Aesthetically, it kind of reminds me of something like a Huarache, but as far as functionality, it reminds me a lot of the Nike Kobe 6, where it's just a thin plastic that's sturdy enough to keep your heel in place, but also lightweight enough where it doesn't add any bulk or anything like that. Base materials on the shoe are basically a see-through textile, and then you have some synthetic overlays, mostly vinyls, on this colorway. The tongue represents more of a ripstop system, and you can see the padding underneath. You have some nice perforations there, so hopefully there's a lot of breathability, and then you do have the exposed foam around the top of the tongue. This little circle with Westbrook's logo on the tongue is basically just a screen on this colorway that does differ on the Honor the Gift colorway, which we will address. And overall, for a signature shoe retailing for $130, you could hope for a little bit more, but these days it's hard to really expect it. I do also want to note on the medial side, you do have a little bit of a mesh window there, so I'm gonna want to point that out just for later when we go over to the Honor the Gift colorway. For the fit, I went true to size. I am satisfied with that. Even if you are a wide footer, I think you may be able to get away with your true size. If you have the opportunity to try them on in store first, definitely do that. But overall, I think mostly everyone should be good going true to size. Unless you have a narrow foot, then you may want to consider going a half size down. Support wise, everything is fine on these in my opinion. We already kind of talked about the external heel counter. There is an internal heel counter as well, so that's a nice addition. Everything feels nice in the heel. Between that decoupled outsole, you see you have an external plastic shank. This is nice and sturdy, but it's also not too stiff. I'm really happy about that. That feels very good underfoot. And overall, that's about gonna do it for this pair in particular, and just a general overview of the shoe and its specs. Now let's get into the Honor the Gift colorway. So starting off with the box there, we do have different branding on this one. Honor the Gift branding. So you have this little sky view. You have the Jumpman logo up in the clouds there in the corner. And I'm not sure how well it's going to show up on camera, but that Westbrook logo actually is over here. We do have more branding around the box. So on this side, it's just going to say Inner City. Jumpman logo has been replaced by Westbrook's logo on this side. You still have his signature on this side, but then you also have some Honor the Gift branding over the top. This side, you have the Jumpman logo and the Honor the Gift logo. Now for the Honor the Gift colorway, again, these are retailing for $150, so for $20 more. Obviously you see the differences that you get with the box, but let's go into some of the material differences. Unfortunately, it's still the same base materials as far as textiles and synthetics go. They just kind of made more premium synthetics, and I guess more premium textiles too. So instead of that see-through textile, we actually have a canvas base on this one, and then the tongue, instead of the ripstop, is actually a perforated corduroy. Even more exposed foam going around the collar as well as the tongue. And instead of making that logo on the tongue just a little screen, it's actually a bubble this time around. You'll see that's covered on the back. That mesh window on the medial side has been replaced with more corduroy, and then these synthetic overlays have been replaced. There's still a synthetic vinyl, but underneath that is a layer of a synthetic suede, basically like a felt material, and they actually changed the external heel counter to that same felt material. Kind of an interesting move, but you know. I will admit these feel a little bit more cozy on foot, but if I'm being honest, they both feel pretty cozy, so that's another reason why I'm just like going ahead with the standard colorway. I do actually like this colorway and how they implemented the blue. I'm assuming that has some connection to that sky view that you have on the box, but I do think that the blue goes well with these tones. Gum bottom, even though it is a slightly translucent gum bottom, it is pretty much the same feeling. It doesn't seem like it's too different of a compound from the other colorway. What I don't like about these is the glue stains on there. So it looks like they put glue stains intentionally on it, but they're just like super dehydrated yellow. And overall, like I said, I do like the colorway despite those things that I don't like about it. But for $150, it's just, I would have hoped for a little bit more out of it. Like I said, with the other colorway, even at $130, but to make this one $20 more, it just seems like it's less performance based in my opinion. These seem like, even with the big perforations on the tongue, they're probably not going to be as breathable with those canvas and corduroy materials. Cool concept though. I do appreciate that type of collab. I think this is a more meaningful collab than some of the stuff we see from Nike, Jordan brand, and other brands at that. I get where sneaker culture is right now. now, but it's just kind of weird when you see a collab just because a movie's coming out and they make a collab with the shoe, or just some random collab somewhere else. It's just... But anywho, that's what I have on the Why Not 5, Why Not 0.5 from Jordan Brand. As mentioned before, there will be a performance review on these guys, so stay tuned for that. If you are interested in either colorway of the Why Not 0.5, we will have a link in the description box below, and you can also leave your comments down below. Let us know what you think of the Why Not 5. Thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, it feels good to be back here on YouTube. We have more to come. And with all that being said, till the next time I see you all, take care of yourselves, take care of one another. Leak.